My hazard lights aren't working. Nothing's working. I can't change modes. The dash is completely dead. I couldn't change modes. I couldn't activate anything. I couldn't turn anything on and off. I got some mail. Why are we doing this on the stove? Because I have a 1.5-year-old who can now reach the counter but can't reach the stove. This is BS batteries. They're co-developed with Yamaha France. Now I can tell you in my hand, this is dramatically lighter than the standard battery. It comes with brass terminals. It comes with this power sensor, which says it's fully charged, if you can see right there. But it's not a very bright light. It is about 1,000 yen or $6 cheaper than the Shorai battery here in Japan. Didn't go with anti-gravity because getting it to Japan, there'd be a lot of shipping and international from the States. It's more than $50 extra. This weighs less. This is the lightest of the 3 batteries. It doesn't have the jump start feature. That's not something I have ever needed. And I have seen some people having issues with the jump start feature. Now I just opened this for the first time, as you saw. It comes with a bunch of foam pads, if you can see here, to make it fit perfectly inside whatever bike I'm using. I have an email from them where I asked, do I have to charge this? Because you should charge new batteries. They said you don't have to, but it's always smart. It does have 12 volts like you need. It does have the 4 amps like standard, and it has 280 cranking amps. I believe the battery is the issue with my bike having all its issues. We will find out, but for now, this is the battery charger I got. Again, I emailed them. They said this will work with a battery if it falls into certain standards, which this one does. It's an Irish company, it's a French company. If you like either of these things, there are affiliate links in the description. Using those affiliate links does not cost you anything extra, but it is the only thing keeping this channel profitable. These were not given to me. I spent my own money, and I have links in Japan for everything, and I have the global link for USA and most of Europe for all of this, and I believe Canada. Here's a screwdriver because these clamps aren't going to safely connect there, so we are going to screw on these wires. 2 other reasons I went with this battery over the other choices I found. One is that I couldn't find a single negative review, not that I found a lot of reviews anyways. The other is it claims to be stable up to 130 degrees Celsius. Because I ride at low speeds in Osaka where it gets over 40 Celsius in the summer, heat management matters to me. And if any one of you have ever watched the news ever, lithium and heat are not great friends. Always plug in the positive first. There is Loctite on these screws. All right, now we'll plug it into the wall. Green light says power. Red light says charging. I might as well throw this video in my weight savings playlist, which is linked in the description. When I got back from Honda, they did say the battery does drop down to 11.1 volts when turning the engine over. Their tester, my tester, and what the TFT says, turns out the TFT is extremely accurate. That's not low enough to be a problem according to Honda. It's 10.4 that they said Honda sees it as a bad battery. And as of now, I have had 24 people comment having the same quick shifter issue, and 4 or 5 people in the comment sections of my video saying they had the same TFT and features issues. So if this fixes it, try to blow up the video, not just for me, but so Honda can maybe realize they have an issue and take responsibility. Before we get into it, if you have any questions about anything I've done to this bike, there's going to be a playlist linked in the description with literally every modification. If it's not there, it will be soon. So while we're getting to the battery, why do I think it's the battery? So you can actually watch John Young, KTM's famous electronics. He solved with a better battery. And if the battery isn't giving enough amperage, even though it's got enough voltage may mean that you have a good stator. But the amperage is what's going to let everything work. Now, I don't know if that's true. My father and my brother are electrical engineers, and they're saying it's true. So I assume, even though I got the looks, they probably know what they're doing because they went to good schools, and this is kind of their bread and butter. The other reason, just to talk directly to you, most of you have given me some really nice comments about, hey, by the way, here's why it could be the battery. And some of you have started your comments with, hey, hole. Though you were right. So here we have the new battery, here we have the old battery. I do want to do some weights. First, we're going to pull out the battery. Now, a 2-part public safety disclaimer. 1, at your own risk. This is my bike. I am an experienced mechanic, and I'd like to believe I haven't destroyed any bikes yet. That said, when removing a battery, start with the negative and then the positive. When you put the battery back, start with positive, finish with negative. Obviously, here's my key, but if your key's not just sitting right here, make sure the bike is completely off when you unplug the battery. But here's the battery, and boy, If my hand's worth anything, this is so much heavier. Oh my gosh. So here's my stupidest possible answer for getting a reasonable weight on the batteries in difference. But if you stay tuned for a future video, a friend of mine just got motorcycle scales, so I will be able to weigh this bike for its real weight. And I figured, let's wait for the lighter battery. This scale, be it silly but accurate, I'm going to weigh the box with each battery, and we'll just go with the differences of the batteries. So the box is just under 10 grams. Now, the heavyweight battery, I did include the nuts with the battery, but not the bolts. This comes with tapped ends, so I figure that's fair enough. You need to add nuts, you don't need to add nuts. But zero the scale, all right. Wow, I need to stand up. If you can see on camera, 3.24 kilograms versus 0.99. So not 1 kilogram. So we're saving literally 2.25 kilograms. I will have a real weight of the whole bike sometime soon, I hope. But there's the battery difference. So if nothing else, we saved a bunch of weight. If you have compressed air, now's a great time to clean this out if you've done as much dirt riding as I have. Honda in Japan, according to my dealer, does not cover the battery under warranty. This battery, I have checked, will not void the warranty in Japan. Your mileage may vary, but this has no effect on my Japanese warranty. Thick and thin pad are exactly the space I want, and then I need a side-to-side space. 3 for side-to-side. I have to figure out how to make that even or just bias one side. Far forward as possible is ideal. I could also just lay the whole thing flat, and it just barely almost fits. It doesn't fit flat, darn. Because as low and forward is best for weight distribution. I'm gonna put one on each side, just for whatever reason I feel like cushioning is not a stupid idea. And then one on the back. I know if I put both on the back, it does give it a slightly more forward-weighted bias. But again, just think of it like a helmet for the battery. There's too many horror stories of lithium batteries going bump in the night. There we go, right in half is just almost what we need. That's it, that's actually a pretty good fit right there. Now the next step is our little happy strap. There's the strap. I don't think this is moving around. Because there's no chemicals in this, you can lay it in pretty much any direction, and it should do better with the vibrations. But, you know, we'll find out in a few thousand kilometers if that's true or just marketing shenanigans. If you're wondering what this wire is, I have a little charger that has an auto off, if you can see it right there. It works when the bike's off, so it can charge the bike, but it doesn't drain any power when it's closed and off. So I've checked with and without that, that was never the issue. And the issue started before I got that, so. These are the nuts that I used when it was inside charging, but it also comes with these spacers and nuts, and because of the little step right here in the wire, you're gonna wanna use these spacers, or at least I'm gonna want to. I won't tell you how to live your life. Now the hardest part is getting everything sandwiched together without dropping things down these little nooks and cracks that you'll never get back. Tight enough, but now, pull this back up, put it right there, and our battery is moderately protected. Yes, I know this metal's still all right there, invisible. Tuck all these wires underneath this strap. Let's get everything snug as a bug in a rug. And I guess since I just spent a little extra effort for my charger, I'll leave a link for that too. And here comes the boom. We have power. See where that number stops. That's the number we're looking at, the volts. One thing about lithium batteries, it's smart to let the battery warm up. So right now my heated grips are on and I can feel them. The lights are on, everything's on except for the engine. It will let the battery warm up because when it's cold, it doesn't like to work. But it did stop at that 12.4 volts, which is an entire volt higher than what it used to say. So I'm cautiously tempted to say it's gonna work. 13.9. Okay, so right now that really doesn't say anything. Sometimes the heated grips of the dash have failed immediately, especially when it's cold outside. So far it's just me pretending to be optimistic. But if nothing else, the new battery works like a battery and saved a ton of weight. I mean, a ton. It saved literally 1% of the bike. That's how much weight we saved. So if you're spending that much money on weight savings, realize you spent that on 1%. But I wouldn't dare recommend diets instead of buying stuff. That all said, I'm gonna ride the bike for at least 500 kilometers, 300 miles, to see if the issues pop up. BS batteries, comment below if you're watching. What does the BS stand for? I've really been trying to behave through this video. I installed the battery at 650 kilometers. That long ago, they changed out my TFT because Honda thought that was the issue. It was changed under warranty, and I have a brand new quick shifter. The real kilometers are this plus 8,017. It is after I put the battery on. The quick shifter's not working. The battery did not fix the bike, okay? The battery did not fix the bike. Now I am wondering if it's the cruise. I'm at a race today. As you can hear in the background, motocross race. I was invited by some of the organizers. This is the same place I did my MX training class. The race doesn't start for 3 or 4 hours. They're just practicing. I'm gonna pull the cruise out of my bike. And on the ride home, find out if that fixes all my problems. We'll see. Otherwise, you know, at least it's nice to know the managers because they'll give you their tools. And this is how I'm living my life. Everything is the outside looking down because that suck gets dirty. I go off-road plenty enough. If you saw my crash video, I'm obviously not putting too much value in the plastics. I just completely uninstalled Viridian Cruise. There is nothing connected except for that little purple brake sensor. Everything else is connected as it should be from OEM. And the bike is in pieces because it's just a test ride. Promised my wife I wasn't off-roading today. So quick shifter's not working. Let's just put 5 or 10 kilometers on the bike and see what happens. So again, if you can see here on the dash, that flashing 4, I'm in 4th gear. Flashing means no quick shifter. So again, short of the battery, every electronic on this bike is an OEM Honda part installed by a Japanese Honda trained Honda mechanic who went to the Honda school. And last time Honda had the bike, they did everything. They took the bike completely apart. They tested everything, or at least they say that. And I don't know why they would lie. As soon as I find a spot to pull over, I'll just shut the bike off for 5 minutes and we'll see what happens. All right, we're back. Bike's still in neutral. I just started it. So we're gonna find out together. Didn't need to cool down and reboot. I have a quick shifter. At the moment, I have a quick shifter. I just called my engineer of a father. My father told me to pull the battery wires off, let the whole computer reboot, and then see what happens. You know, I'm desperately hoping I did something wrong. If it's something I did, it's something I can undo. I really can't even make it 50 kilometers without something going wrong. Right now, I've made it 4. I'll pull the battery real quick, let it sit for a couple minutes, and put it back. And I can watch the people play in the mud professionally. Bye-bye. Well, I'm passing him if he's going to be on the wrong side of the road. Swerving like George Jones. Swerving, swerving, swerving. Swervy Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You can see Sunday, the 9th, March 2025. Well, look right there. No quick shifter at all. Nothing I did to this bike is the problem. I have no idea how to fix it now. It's a quick shifter most frequently, and sometimes it's the heated grips, and sometimes it's the power modes, sometimes it's the traction, sometimes it's the fuel light, sometimes it's literally every possible electronic.
So, whoever has an idea, comment it below, because again, I'm not the only one having this issue. A lot of people are sharing the idea that it must be a battery. This bike has a 1-day-old, fully charged, premium battery. It's not the battery. If you like apples, this looks like an apple orchard, and that has nothing to do with anything. I have 4 other videos I'm working on right now, so they will come out afterwards. But you can see everything right away on my Patreon, because I'm slowly feeling like I need to buy a bike again.